Good afternoon. Last class we discussed about the wines, wines from France, wines from Italy, wines from Spain. We discussed in this last class today that up to 1 to 7 discussed. In this today we are going to discuss of something else. We are going to discuss in this classes new world wines. What they are called. The wines come from the USA, Chile, Argentina, world, China, India, etc. These are some of the new countries which are new countries going the wines. They are only new world wines are just from century 200, 300 years back. Whereas old world wines from the around 1000 years. They are since 1000 years. They are the method of the climatic conditions support there, or the grape variety quality of the grape is unique, and also the method of making is something different. What we adapted from there, they try to use in the new world wines. There's a lot of difference, but what this new world wine, some of the example, if I go India, if in India example, if I get an Siraj is a grape, or it's a try to, or example, if I go with an what you call vinifera. With this vinifera is a type of a plant which I try to get from the Europe. It's a old world wine which I try to get the plant and try to cultivate in India. It was not very successful. Why? Because the climatic conditions is completely different here. Whereas that in old Europe, the temperature is very chill, around 10 to around 18, which is perfectly to maintain the balance of acids and sugar levels in a grape. But whereas in this is completely different. In this, if I get into the same grape in India, if I plant this plant grown in India, because of the temperatures more than plus 30, the acid levels are completely low and the sugar levels will be more. The grape will be, the quality of the pulp will be exhausted because of the moisture will go out. So sugar levels will India now. It's same grape is same plant come to India. The grape we can make it is perfectly sweet wines. Why? Because climatic conditions. That you should understand. Point number one. Point number two. On this, the economically it's very cheaper. New world wines are very affordable. It cannot be called cheaper, but it can be affordable for the middle class people. Why? Because they use a lot of modern techniques in this, which are they use a lot of machinery, a lot of new technology. They don't go for the expensive like oak barrels. So they try to go in the stainless steel or glass line things, which makes very economical, faster, not much of use of manpower. So the rate all not matured. They are not so well matured. They are very basically they're young, and you don't see a robust kind of a character in it, like color, flavor, and taste. But yes, they are very good compared to the other things world, and they're one of the best competitor to the world. So about the world also. Why? Because they're economically better, and also every person can able to drink. The sales part is very good compared to the old wines, and that's about and easy to read. And one of the point is very easy to read labeling, because this labeling is commonly written in English, so you can understand the places very well. So you can understand the grape quality, the region, the vintage. You can understand very easily, because it's common English. A layman person also can read this label and understand where it come from, what is this use. And the laws also not much very complicated compared to the old world wines. It's very simple, we can understand this. So let me go with some of the countries, let me go with an America is some of the states. There are four major states have been involved in this, Washington, Oregon, California, and New York. There's some of the four states which are the major contribution. All US cannot be given. The only four states. Out of this, the 95% of the contribution will be the California. If let's think whole 100% is contributing for USA, 100% of wine is coming from US, 95% is from only from California. So you should understand point number one. Second thing, the fourth largest in the world. US is the fourth largest in the world after the Spain. This you can consider this as a fourth largest. They use a plant called Vitis vinifera. Vitis vinifera, and when you get a crisis in 1930, all the vineyards been destroyed, and that's because of the bacteria. It's been affected the roots and completely destroyed. So that time we got the plants from this Vitis vinifera. The same family being adopted. Still today also we are going with the same family. There's some of the grapes, same grapes all over world. Something like me Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Syrah, Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Riesling. These are some of the white and red grapes what we are going to use. In the one of the specialty in the US is they always use the mention just grape variety before the place. That you should understand. Examples when you go to Alsace, So should also Alsace also is known for the name is also mentioned before. Same in France. And just like this, they also example Washington Riesling. Washington is a place in US, and also Riesling. Riesling is something where grape variety of wine. You should understand by Riesling is a white grape, so white wine preferably. So that's how you should understand this. And also the place and grape varieties mixed and placed on the labeling. In 1978, they also made some law in American viticulture area. American viticulture area called AVA. So 1978 beyond introduced, there's almost 198 places being considered in this. So what there these regions have been under the control of body called AVA. This monitor about the grape quality, the production over there, and the quality, the blending, the what you call the labeling, also marketing, also better to help us. We have maintained some qualities in by because to avoid malpractices to maintain the quality of the wine. That's how the body is made in 1978. There are the three varieties which is mentioned as per the labeling. So you can see the vintage. Whenever the vintage is mentioned on the bottle, you should understand 95% of the grape quality been same grape or same blending of same year been used. That you should understand. Example, this is 2000. Example 2000 they manufactured, let's think that's a vintage year, so you should understand same grape quality which is grown in 2000 year only they use this, or the term of blending 20 only 2000 the same vintage same year of the blending of age has been blended when you're blending the wine. So that's about this vintage. Next one, AVA. As I told you, 198 places are regionally authorized in US. Out of the 75% of whenever a bottle have a AVA on the bottle, second category of which I'm speaking, 75% of the grapes are from this region. Should be some 75% of the grapes should be this 98 places should be there. Otherwise, it cannot be. 25% can be rest all over US. There's no problem. But 75% compulsory should be. Why? Because when I use 75% of these grapes, the quality will be good. They're authorized. They're controlled. So yield is controlled. The plantation is controlled. The vinification can be controlled. Or so should have a good quality you can expect whenever the bottle have a AVA. And the third one is grape variety. So whenever the grape variety is mentioned, 75%, if suppose as I said Washington Riesling, when a Riesling the grape name is mentioned, grape variety is mentioned, 75% of Riesling grapes only should be used in this. So in that bottle. So rest can be 25, can be any other grapes can be used. That should be. If I use Riesling, the Riesling grape only should be mentioned. That's the third. I'll repeat: grape variety, AVA, and third one is vintage. So what we discuss is three things in this. And also the next one, I'm going with the regions of America. First one is California. I'm talking about the California. When I talk about the California, what happened in California is almost 300 years old. It was been started. The 300 years old, it started the getting the plant and the cultivation started just 300 years old, 200 years old, 2 to 300 years old. So basically Spanish, they brought the plant, vinification started growing. In 18th century it was started. The vineyards almost spread in California is almost 1,000 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers over there. We have same kind of a vintage can be used. Okay, so 95%. So 95% of this the grapes are come from the vines are come from the California. Out of USA is 100% contribution. Let think California, as I said you, 95% is contribution is from the California. They have their rivers, oceans. They have very low temperatures, which makes a grape with low acidic in nature. So this all will be helpful, and they are world recognized California wines. The bottles are very economical to buy, and the grape is called Zinfandel. This is only a grape which is a family, which is a huge contribution of the grape family. So almost 10% of these grapes are being used, and also they make red wine and well as rose. They are different. The next region is I'm going to with the Washington. Basically, the Washington is one of the good quality of the wine you see from Washington. There's only second is dry and medium dry wine because they are very cold. So they are very cold. The acid levels are more over there. So because of this, what happened? The grape quality will be having a very acid levels are very high. Because of that, we can make a very dry or medium dry white wines we get from this region. What are the grapes in use? Chardonnay, Riesling, Sauvignon Blanc, Semillon. Then when I go with the red grape, I can go with the Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon. These are some of the grapes are being used from the Washington. Now I'm going with the third place called as this Oregon. Oregon. This what is exact this place is called? It's only the 5% of contribution, like three places, Washington, Oregon, as well as this New York. There's only 5% of contribution. It's very cold, equal to just like they call it as a Burgundy. The white ones you get the grape they use a Pinot Noir. The Pinot Noir. Most of the half of the Pinot Noir being used in this region to get about this. It's less between the New York and the Washington between the region it is. And when I talk about the fourth place is called New York, it's the hybrid quality being used in this plant in this region is called Vitis vinifera, and it's one of the good quality of the grapes you get from this, and it's also only 5%, 2 to 3% of contribution of the wines we get from the New York. So this about the wines from the USA. Next class we're going to discuss about the new world wine, some other new topic, other new part of the new wine we're going to discuss in next topic. This could be considered as a 8 part 8. Thank you for you all. See you next class.